In the last 6 years, NLE Choppa has become one of the biggest and youngest rappers to achieve success in the mainstream rap game. After releasing Shot of Flow in 2019, Choppa was a rising star, but as the years went on, he easily became one of the most confused, cursed, and problematic rappers experiencing one of the greatest identity crises in hip-hop. From cosplaying Tupac in music videos, dissing NBA Youngboy, then cosplaying Michael Jackson by sending a message to the youth, Choppa, who has rebranded himself as NLE the Great, is in a serious crisis. But there's a bigger and more deadly narrative surrounding NLE Choppa that actually rarely gets any attention and is often forgotten about. It's why that every rapper that takes a picture of NLE Choppa, including King Von, Juice WRLD as well as Pop Smoke, end up dead sooner or later. Starting with King Von, a person who needs no introductory as his reputation supersedes himself, King Von, the rapper by day, driller by night, has built a reputation of being one of the realest rap street niggas alive. Allegedly, having 7+ bodies in the streets of Chicago, something that he decoded in his music, and something that a lot of people even overlooked. As on the song Demon, Von rapped talking about bodies, I got a few, 4 plus 3, 3 plus 2. NLE Choppa referred to King Von as a brother, saying that his spirit visited him while he was meditating. However, just a couple months before his death, the two be pictured together and conspiracies began to grow. With how's that everyone that NLE Choppa takes a picture with somehow ends up dead. Almost like he brings bad luck or is cursed. And Choppa would speak on his relationship with King Von.
King Von, that was my brother. He was the realest person I had in the industry. When he used to be on house arrest, I used to hit him, bro. I was coming to him. When I used to get to Atlanta, yo, I need some pipes. I need some sticks out here. Whatever. I'm coming to him, to his house. I'm pulling up. He used to have a few homeboys. They'd give me what I need. We'd kick it, chill, play 2K, whatever, to make him feel good while he was on house arrest, because he never liked being on house arrest. He hated this.
Now, we all know what happened over 5 years ago on November 8th of 2020. King Von was the ultimate aggressor in Atlanta, an altercation involving Quando Rondo. He got Quando Rondo's location, he attacked Quando Rondo, and he inevitably experienced the wrath that he's been giving out for years in the streets and got killed by Lil Tim in self-defense. Now, NLE Choppa, someone who accused Youngboy of poisoning the youth for promoting such a negative stereotype or image of a young black man, didn't have the same energy years ago when it came to King Von. Someone who did the exact same thing.
How bad did it hit you?
It hit me hard, man. I remember I was cooking. You know what I mean? I was cooking breakfast. I was making breakfast for me. And my brother just walked in. He had walked in my house. And he said it, he didn't say it in an exciting way, but he said it in a way of like, I thought you already know this, but he was like, you know King Von died? I said, what, bro? He said, you know he died? They said he died last night, he got shot or something like that. And it's in the middle of me cooking, bro. I look at my phone and I see the shit. And I used to wake up and not touch my phone for like 2 hours or 3 hours just to keep a type of peace and start my day right. So when I looked at it, it just hit me crazy. And I remember, boy, I dropped down to the floor, I started crying.
Hold on. 97% of you guys watching this video are not subscribed. Now look, man, I like making the content, you like watching the content. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it, helps you grow a lot, and I'm trying to keep it going, man. Subscribe. Let's go. Now, King Von was as thorough as they come. He beat a first-degree murder, as well as 2 attempted murders at trial. But his ties to NLE Choppa and his reckless I don't give a fuck bravado were key reasons for his demise. Only a few names resonate like Pop Smoke. Now, Pop Smoke, a name that I feel rarely gets any praise because people aren't just keeping his name alive, may have been a victim of the NLE Choppa deadly curse. Now, Pop Smoke took New York by storm. Now, to many people, he was the second coming of 50 Cent, a 20-year-old kid with a grown man's voice, a grown man's body, and a street nigga bravado. Now, Pop Smoke was the second coming of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He made songs like What You Know About Love for the ladies, and he had songs like Gangsters for the gangsters. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, but how did Pop Smoke's meteoric rise and quick demise link to NLE Choppa? Well, it all goes back to this picture that they took in the studio and what happened shortly after. In February 2020, Pop Smoke was at an Airbnb in Los Angeles with his friends when he slipped up and posted his Mike Murray bag that was gifted to him, which had the address of where they're staying. Now, in the middle of the night, while taking a shower, 4 Los Angeles teens entered the house from the 2nd floor and tried to rob him for his jewelry fresh out of the shower. But he wasn't going. Now, the teen shot Pop Smoke, who was reluctant to give the goods, and he died in the hospital, with many people speculating that Pop Smoke was set up by the girl who spent the night, and why he was there by himself and how he got killed. Now, the death of Pop Smoke created so much outrage, especially considering that he was set to go on his first North American tour the following month of March of 2020. Now, the craziest thing is that Pop Smoke XXX, as well as Juice WRLD, ironically, all had pictures of NLE Choppa close to when they died. Now, from Tunnel Vision, Meep the Woo, as well as Army Dangerous, Pop Smoke was destined to blow, and was also destined to be one of the 3 leaders of the modern day of rap. Now, music, people always have the conversation of rappers like Drake and Kendrick Lamar overstaying their welcome, but the truth is, the next generation of rap leaders have all been killed or died in very mysterious ways. Now, hindsight is always 20/20, and it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback when the outcome of certain situations don't lie in your favor. If Pop Smoke's friends were more on point and protected him, we would be praising them for being real street niggas who stood on business and protected the bag at all costs. But because they didn't, at the time, we viewed his friends as almost snakes. Did they drop his low? Did he get snaked by his man's Mike D? Like, this was a narrative being pushed during the time. And many people were saying that Pop Smoke's friends failed him because they didn't protect young generational talent when they're out of town. Now, the death of Juice WRLD was something that Gen Z still hasn't gotten over and sent a lot of people into a seasonal depression. Now, Juice was a rapper who didn't have a pistol-toting gangster persona like the others, but had a dedicated cult audience due to his open drug addiction. He had many albums showcasing his love for drugs, but his addiction and him being afraid to go to jail led to his demise. Now, on December 8th, 2019, Juice WRLD flew from Los Angeles to Chicago, and federal agents got the word that there was contraband, drug paraphernalia, as well as pills and other narcotics on the plane. Now, as an attempt to duck the feds and duck a punishment and save himself, Juice WRLD started to swallow multiple Percocet pills to hide the evidence from the police when they arrived on board at the gate. During the federal agents searching the plane, Juice WRLD would ingest multiple pills and suffer a seizure, and the federal agents administered him a Narcan, which is the drug animal that stops people from overdosing. However, Juice WRLD died hours later in the hospital, with the police seizing around 70 pounds of marijuana, several firearms, prescription codeine cough syrup, and ammunition. Now, the coroner reports would admit that Juice WRLD died from an accidental overdose caused by toxic levels of oxycodone as well as codeine, and particularly the combination of these two allegedly contribute to the seizure and his death. Now, arguably, there are 3 of the greatest talents in the 2020 era who went out in the worst way. First, street fights that turned deadly, robberies that literally turned to a homicide, and drug overdose deaths that could have easily been avoided if certain people weren't afraid of jail. Not only Choppa magically has linked to every rapper who died in the series of unfortunate events. Now, you guys let me know, is NLE Choppa truly cursed, or is this all a bitter coincidence? Make sure you subscribe down below and follow my channel, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one.